The unexplained memory. There is a specific memory I have carried with me for as long as I can remember. Something deeply unsettling happened to me many years ago, and to this day, I still cannot find a rational explanation for it. I am sharing it now in the hope that perhaps someone, somewhere, has experienced something similar and can help me understand. I must have been about 5 years old at the time. Although I was just a little kid, my recollections of that particular period in my life remain remarkably vivid. It was a dark, heavy week for our family. My aunt had passed away just a few days prior, and the lingering grief was palpable in every corner of our home. One afternoon, I aimlessly walked into an empty guest room in our house. The room was cold and quiet, but as I stepped inside, my eyes fell upon a figure sitting in the center of the space. It was my aunt. She was dressed entirely in pristine white clothes, looking remarkably peaceful yet deeply unnatural. Suddenly, she turned her head and looked right at me. A chilling laugh began to escape her lips. Then, while remaining in that exact sitting position, her body slowly began to levitate upward into the air. She kept floating higher and higher, her laughter echoing in my ears, until she reached the ceiling and simply vanished into thin air, terrified and confused. I sprinted out of the room and burst into the living room where my mother and older brother were sitting. Gasping for air, I hysterically blurted out everything I had just witnessed. I vividly remember my mother instantly bursting into tears. She was already emotionally fragile, still struggling to process the sudden death of her sister. Seeing my distress, my older brother cautiously led me back to the empty room to investigate. We searched everywhere, but of course, the room was completely desolate. There was nothing left but the quiet hum of the empty house. This memory has been permanently burned into my mind ever since. What makes it so terrifyingly strange is that I know, with absolute certainty, it was not a dream. Years later, my mother still remembers that day vividly. She confirmed that I was completely inconsolable and entirely convinced that my aunt was physically present in that room. I have never been able to find a logical answer for what I saw. Even now, every single time this memory surfaces in my mind, my eyes involuntarily tear up. The only comfort, if you can even call it that, came from an elder who once told me that young children often possess an innocence that allows them to see things in the spiritual realm that others simply cannot.